Hi, I'm Don, and this is Hi, I'm Don Radio. And if no one has asked you how you're feeling today, I'm asking, how you feeling? How's life? It's cold where I am. Is it cold where you are? Do you got snow now? I definitely have snow, cousin. I don't think I like it at all. But what's buzzing, cousin? I made this show so you don't have to be alone. Now you have family in me. So nice to meet you, favorite cousin. First things first, I want to know what you plan on eating today. Will you have breakfast? What do you like for breakfast? Me, I naturally fast until about the lunch hour. I can't help it. I'm not even entirely sure when that started, but it's been as long as I can remember. Even when I did eat breakfast, I ate it because I had to. I ate it because I ought to. But I always liked lunch food over breakfast. So even if I am hungry at breakfast hours or when I wake up, I don't want breakfast foods. So I'm different in that way too. What about you, cousin? Well, today we're talking about navigating the winter blues. I don't know about you, but September to December is extremely tough for me in my mental and my psyche. So I was hoping that I could talk to you about that, cousin, and we could talk to each other about that. But before we talk about that, I ought to let you hear a song. I ought to play a song that's gonna set the atmosphere, so to speak, set the tone of what we're gonna talk about. And what I'd like you to do always is to just have a certain level of patience with yourself. You know, I lived a very long few years of not being my best friend, and it's really not fun. And you just have to have patience with yourself.
Life's cruel, what you gon' do? Can't stop it, cause we're on the move. Unsure you should ask somebody looking for some pity. We don't throw them type of parties, no. It's your agenda, sugar or splendor. Could be creating while you are waiting. Alarm can be set, then I wake up ahead of time. Unsure, you should ask somebody looking for some pity. We don't throw them type of parties, not your girls. No, 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 no. Said no, 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 not a no. Patience is a virtue. You have to find your spot in the sunroof. It takes patience. It takes patience. It takes patience.
And that was Patience by Beauty the Bum on all digital streaming platforms. And that is yours truly singing. I love music. But today we're talking about the winter blues, It's a mental check type of episode. Does anyone else experience the winter blues such as I? Or have any friends, any loved ones, past or present, whom experience the same things? What were some of their behaviors? What did they like to do or not do during a holiday season and during that September into December kind of span? Now, I did say winter blues, and the winter wouldn't start in September, but I feel that shift into the cold right after that one of the hottest months of the year in August. I feel just would do a disservice to just say that you feel melancholy only for 60 days or what have you. I just want to be fair for that span, right? Or we can be long-winded and call it the fall and winter blues. Whatever works for us, right? The lack of eye-burning sunlight, the wind chill that sets into your bones, the slick streets and sidewalks, no thank you. That's just a very surface level of what I don't like about the winter though. I'm not entirely sure what year it was when these feelings, or what age I was when these feelings began, but I'm already an introverted person. And I would say I'm an extroverted introverted person. However, I do love my home. I do love my space. And I have a social battery. And once that battery is out, I need to go home to recharge. I must, I will, I shall, you know. And what I can say is, no matter how long I feel like I've felt however I felt, I'm proud to say that every year I tackle it better and I prepare more successfully. And eventually, I will be able to say that, I don't have seasonal depression or a season where I feel melancholy in any way, right? So what are some reasons for the winter blues, right? So I kind of felt like I could narrow it down into not limited to these 4 things, but for now, we're going to discuss these 4 things. And I broke that up into grief, holidays, vitamin deficiencies, and it being just the end of the year. And I'll just dive right into those, right? Now, the first one being grief. I think if we touching on that span of the fall winter blues, right? From September to December, you are thrown into the season of giving, family, trick-or-treating with family, what's for Thanksgiving, planning for that, where are we hosting, where is it at, or what have you. And say you don't have those type of accommodations. You no longer have that type of family dynamic. Maybe you are still finding your new family and creating new traditions. Grief often plays a part into why people may become depressed during the winter seasons. The memories you have of what you did do or the people you did share time with during these times may not be here anymore. And that's very difficult to navigate. I want to say rest in peace, Tony Elbore, which is my sister in love, the love of my life's sister, whom we lost to cancer last year. And we actually had a podcast, the three of us, and we had less than 5 episodes before we lost her. And I feel that she awakened the podcasting again in me, because we definitely hung it up after we lost her. But before she succumbed to her illness, it was a lot of fun. And I can say this is only the second episode, and it's definitely fun now. But when you lose people, persons that you love, and then you're in the world, the reality where there is the movies and the music and the pushing of this togetherness and the nostalgia and the love and the smells of the holidays, it's very hard. It's very hard to just get through those moments when grief hits you the most, the hardest, the toughest, and that's just what it is. Tony was an awesome person, and before me and my girlfriend began dating and I met them, we were all friends. I was friends with them, and they're awesome sisters, and we just were this awesome trio of awesomeness. And that podcast we had just kind of sprung out of us wanting to chit chat with each other, chit chat with the world, and give awareness to things and different things like that. And she was very, very intelligent. She was very loving, very encouraging. She was a wife. She was a converted Muslim woman, and we were very, very proud of her. She was a lover of children, a child care professional and director, and now she's our beautiful angel. She's my most recent angel, so it's especially tough just without her. And then the holidays and hearing things, and when, Sweetest Day and Sibling Day and things like that were maybe created from social media and Facebook that in my head created out of thin air because I'm not even sure where it originated. Those things hit you hard then. And then grief kind of hits you anywhere. Kind of hits you anywhere at any time, and it's very, very difficult to navigate. But also, just piggybacking on that from just the grief, that goes right into the holidays. You know, you have that Thanksgiving, you have that Christmas, you have, where it's centered again around those foods and smells and programs on TVs and pictures and illustrations and commercials. And it's just so easy to get into a rhythm of sadness. And I think that those two things are just, wise. What puts you in the winter blues? And it could just, those are just two things I came up with, that just the holiday spirit itself, how the holiday spirit can bring this joy out of nowhere, this joy that brings a smile to a Scrooge. I think the holidays can also bring a sadness. I do. And also grief. And I also believe that, grief is something that we all can connect to each other in. But I don't believe that we treat each other in a way that we know we've all experienced grief. I don't think we're kind to each other on all the courts, but when it comes to grieving, even if we took it in a family dynamic, because people grieve differently, just the performance of it all, as if to feel you have to grieve a certain way to validate to the public, so to speak, that you love this person as much as you ought to love them, or what have you. Or even if, say, someone passes away and they were in love with someone, say that someone passes away and they lived a lifestyle that people didn't agree with. When someone leaves, I feel like it's due to you to also let people that person who deceased loved also grieve them as well. Even if you don't agree with them and maybe their relationship with the deceased person or what have you, I feel that the deceased person was that person that linked all parties involved, and they're gone now. And again, grief is never ending. Grief is hard. And no matter the circumstances of what happened and the choices of everyone when they were alive, death is just so hard. And I just think we could be kinder to each other when it comes to grief. I really do. But as we're talking about like holidays, and we kind of made the winter blues more like the fall blues, right? I'm going to play this awesome artist and a friend of mine named Teray. Ray is from the Bahamas, and he made this song called Autumn Love, and I just think it's one of my favorite songs. I want to share it with you guys, and I hope you enjoy.
The air around me feels so good right now. The leaves, they're dropping straight right to the ground. The way you love me makes my soul spin round. So when I fall, it's better now. Autumn love, I see above the sky so high, but birds don't fly. The wind blows dry, the sun behind, those clouds stay dry. No need to cry. Autumn love, autumn love. The park we swing in, the sunset paints your smile. Your arms embrace me, can make me run a mile. And when you love me, can't wait to walk that aisle. 'Cause when I fall, it's better now. Autumn love, I see above the sky so high, where birds don't fly. The wind blows dry, the sun behind, those clouds stay dry. No need to cry. Autumn love, autumn love. The way those eyes bring me to life, no words describe the joy I find. I can't deny this auburn sky that's locked inside this heart of mine. Autumn love, I see above the sky so high, where birds don't fly. The wind blows dry, the sun behind, those clouds stay dry. No need to cry. Autumn love, autumn love.
I hope you like that. That was Autumn Love by Ray. And in a moment, I'll be able to give us a word from one of our sponsors. And that would be me. Hi, I'm Don. And I am your host and favorite cousin from Hi, I'm Don Radio. And I'm a serial entrepreneur. You should be shopping Don's Beauty and Fashion. Don's Beauty and Fashion. DONS BEAUTY.UNIVER.SE. You guys go shop my website, see what I got. I make tumblers, I make t-shirts, personal nails. Just go ahead and see what I got available, you guys. Happy holidays. And we were talking the winter blues, okay? I had the holidays, I had grief, I had vitamin deficiency, and then I had like the end of the year listed as like this the 4 topics I kind of boiled it all down to for myself of how I can kind of explain how I feel the winter blues, how you end up into the winter blues, into the summer blues. Lord, I understand that seasonal depression is a thing and that is not just in the winter, but this topic is something that I personally navigate. So we talked about the holidays, we talked about grief and how that can kind of stir that. And so something I was recently researching is that some of our moods, depressions, eating habits, or lack thereof can be from vitamin deficiencies. Now that's something that is new territory for me. So as I researched, I came across an article where physicians were explaining that most things are due to those deficiencies, whereas there was supposed to be an understanding across all of us, but I was whatever day that was, I was that day years old of figuring that out. But not only does your food not give us all the vitamins and nutrition, no matter how clean and awesome of a diet that you could have, clean this and vegan or what have you, you still don't get all the vitamins and nutrition you need from just food and drink. I did not know that. And if I knew that, I forgot. So essentially, we're supposed to incorporate some type of vitamin, liquid, powder, gummy since childhood. Now, I do remember at one point taking a Flintstone gummy, and I don't know what happened to that, okay? But I'm not blaming my parents at all. But I do remember taking a Flintstone gummy. I have no idea what the heck it was for. I know it was delicious, but other than that, I'm not really sure, right? So something like that is something important that as a cousin, I need to tell you. I need you to research that for yourself as well. Don't take things I tell you just as Bible, you know? But that was very interesting to me. So another layer of understanding is just very interesting to me, and it helps me dig deeper and push that question more and more and more so I can get even more answers. So the fact that to land on vitamin deficiency is just not what I thought I'd come up with when researching, what really could be the root of that melancholy feeling, And then the fourth thing is end of the year. So, the fall, winter months, or what have you, December is the end of our calendar year. And naturally, humans review the beginning of something when an end is approaching, right? When you're doing a race, you are navigating the end, then you see who won the race, but then you watch the footage and we kind of dissect the entire race. We dissected from when they first come out, or when they first start, or we watch and dissect how their takeoff was, as well as how their arms pumped to the second that we thought they were going to win, and then another person kind of comes up at the end. You look at that whole kind of package when you're getting to the end of something, or you've reached the end of something, right? It's just very natural. And so when we end a year, conclude our calendar year, it's natural to look through your year as a whole and dissect it, reflect on it, and kind of dwell on the good juicy bits, and hopefully don't dwell too much on the harder bits. Now we want to dwell on the harder bits that conditioned us, that was the learning parts, the stepping stones to being better people and doing the shadow work. But we don't want to dwell in negativity and sadness ever, right? So when you draw a conclusion on how you feel and how you survive the year in so many twists and turns, because maybe you're not where you imagine, you can end up putting yourself into a depression and you didn't even realize that you were in, or again, something that you don't experience all year. And then it got to this point, to this season, and you put yourself in that space. Life put you in that space, however you like to perceive it. I can see where having a conclusion of your life, of that year of your life, and grading it a D, an F, or saying it's less than satisfactory, I can understand how that can bring on a heavy set of emotions, because as the new year starts, I don't have that pep, motivation, or to be able to focus on on the steps I need to take for a better tomorrow, right? So that's why you also don't want to dwell in that negativity or that sadness ever, right? I just know that there's always going to be a time where you'll be able to lock in on something to feel better. Cousin, I just know it, That's just one of those things, you have to know it to be true. You can't guess it. And even if you have to say it as if you mean it until you believe it. That's just something that's always worked for me as well. And I'm going to play you another song, you guys. This is by Beauty the Bum. It's called Look at You Now. I think it's a good motivation song about what you're talking about right now.
If I could revisit and sit and talk to the old me, I have so much awesome things to tell her we did. Like what? Growth is tough, like a well-done steak. Making mistakes is what it takes. And look at you. I said, look at you. Growth is tough, like a well-done steak. Making mistakes is what it takes. I said, look at you now. New levels, new devil. So I'm writing this song. Music in my consciousness. It helps me be strong and press on. And I'm plugged like your phone. If I'm following right, then what the hell could go wrong? Tell the truth, shame the devil, take my bait with this treble. Seems like my truth make them tremble.
And here's another message from our sponsors. I know you're familiar with paparazzi accessories, but did you know they launched a new line, Cachet by Paparazzi? You should be shopping with consultant Melissa McKinney of Paparazzi Accessories. I Shop for Fun LLC. That's I Shop, the number 4, Fun LLC is where you'll be able to find her on Facebook and other social media platforms. Again, Melissa McKinney should be your paparazzi accessories consultant. So we were talking about winter blues, we got grief holidays, vitamin deficiency, and, just the end of the year and reflection of that. So, cousin, I'm solution oriented, right? So I brought up these 4 reasons. So I want to talk about some possible solutions, right? What can we do? We're here. What are we doing, So we know grief isn't easy. And again, I personally feel that grief is something that you can't solve per se, right? But you do what you can to cherish and honor your loved ones that have left you. And every day you're carrying the torch with their love guiding you and supporting you. So we should throw parties, right? We should watch old home videos with them in it. We should get life-size cutouts of them so you can see them every day. We should imagine and visualize them and how they'd be if they were aging and growing, still with us. Make a charity in their honor. Whatever you do, just take it easy, friend. Just please give yourself grace, friend. I'd appreciate that. And I know your angels would definitely appreciate that. You gotta change your holiday traditions too, If you don't have any, get some. I know, some people who migrate to California and Florida and Arizona right before the leaves turn to avoid the cold, to avoid the holiday traffic. They don't participate in like Black Fridays. They get the heck out of there and go somewhere warm. Shelter in place with each other and beach and just have this close-knit family awesomeness in the warmth, right? What traditions would you have? What traditions do you already have that you could alter? Just think about that and start there. Do you think your family, your peers, your friends, your associates, even yourself, do you think you treat the holidays too material? You think it's gotten too material? Switch it up. Prioritize events and outings and campfires and snowball fights and things like that over gift giving. Put a gift limit on things, like how they do for like the Secret Santa things at most corporate jobs and other workplace spaces. It's a $20 limit, it's a $30, $40 limit whereas everyone can participate. And you pick names out of a hat and what have you, right? Do something like that. If you're single, there's almost always some type of singles mixer or matching and matchmaking, matching. You know what I'm saying? There's always some type of mixer around the holidays, some type of speed dating, and awesome events curated trying to get people together in the spirit of the holidays. So be on the lookout for those. Look on your Facebook posts and groups and mutuals. Go to your local bars and ask what they do for the holidays regarding stuff like that. Most cities have their city have a website where you'll be able to just go to your city's official website and look at events and upcoming things of that nature. So I think you should do that. Why not do something different if you would like, a different outcome? I think that works perfect, I always celebrated Christmas, and we've gotten to the point where we exchange gifts, and it's really, really not about the gifts, but a lot of what I do and what I love is handmade things. I like doing things in love. And so with doing that, it just feels like it feels different from a material gift. Just going and buying something. The thought that counts, the special touches, the time dedicated, all those things just makes the gift more special to me. And everyone doesn't agree that way. And I do know there are persons I can't gift things like that to. And that's quite all right. No one's asking you to be anything other than who you are, right? But again, you'll have to do something different to get a different income, wouldn't you? So that makes sense. And if you say you aren't single, you are have found your person, right? You guys got to do something different to put the a difference and the spice into what you guys do. Don't exchange gifts or put a limit on the gifts, or say we have to do handmade gifts, or we're going to take each other on an outing as gifts. I know people who do Christmas in January, and I think that's when they get like their income tax, so they're able to get a little more money to do a little more things. What if you guys do that? We do Christmas in January, or I'm not sure. Play games, host a family event, or host other couples and have like a couples holiday retreat somewhere. I'm not sure. It's just possibilities are endless. And it's up to you. You're the author, of your life. You have to go out there and do something different. Stir the world up, stir that pot up, get that thing moving. Your life is yours. And you are the author, the curator, and you have the power. So if you go outside every day and you put your head down and you go to work straightly and you don't deviate from the plan, nothing other exciting and other is going to happen. And if it does come across your doorstep or hit you, if you don't receive it and it just bounce right off you, if interesting things happen and you look up and you flee from them, nothing different is going to happen, right? Because you may have found someone that you feel loves you, quiet and perfect, and then what you're doing now is quiet and perfect, and you don't need anything different, right? And that's not the source of your holiday depression, yeah. And that's great, because that's not mine either. Love is not where I feel any sadness in that area or anything like that. When I'm come through that season, I'm not feeling unloved in any way, abandoned in any way, and I have most definitely found my person. So if you're also that person, you do want someone and know you have someone that is quiet and perfect. So I'm going to play that song, Named That, by Essence Martins. I just found her, and I love this song. I think it's awesome. I'm going to share it with you guys.
I never minded not being the type guys never dated, 'cause I didn't like being centered attention. It didn't seem like the love you would dream of in movies. With them it was sexual, and being naive, I thought that was conventional. And some would agree, but that love didn't seem so supreme. Now I'm glad they didn't pick me, 'cause I'll have a love who's deserving, and someone who loves me in private. And they'll make me laugh when I'm nervous, and love me to death but in silence. And I'll write them love songs forever. We'll dance in the typical shit English weather, but they'll love me quiet and perfect, quiet and perfect. And I've never been in love, but I hope it's not the plastic stuff I grew up on, like Penny and Leonard or Rachel and Ross, who are toxic and wouldn't have made it. 'Cause I'll have a love who's deserving, and someone who loves me in private. And they'll make me laugh when I'm nervous, and love me to death but in silence. And I'll write them love songs forever. We'll dance in the typical shit English weather, but they'll love me quiet and perfect, quiet and perfect. I'm sure they will show, but when I'm not looking, that's how these things go. 'Cause I hope fate doesn't notice if I take a peek. Will it ruin my chances? I really wanna know if I'll end up alone. 'Cause I want a love who's deserving. Will somebody love me in private? Will they make me laugh when I'm nervous, and love me to death but in silence? 'Cause I'd write them love songs forever. We'll dance in the typical shit English weather, and I'd love them quiet and perfect, quiet and perfect.
It don't really matter what they doing over there, as long as you focus on what we got over here. It don't really matter what they doing over there, as long as you focus on what we got over here. You gotta focus, 'cause I'm the best you're gonna get. They can have their problems, just don't come home with them. Thirsty, worst way, I'm in here sweating like sinners on church day. A gentleman, a lady, he ain't pussy, so we gotta leave that all to me. Feelings slip, I asked you just the tip, but you convinced me that you knew it was a solid fit. I see you and you see three like it's battleship. I know you laugh when your homies telling you about they lady. Collect all the bullshit and it don't really matter what they doing over there, as long as you focus on what we got over here. It don't really matter what they doing over there, as long as you focus on what we got over here. You gotta focus, 'cause I'm the best you're gonna get. They can the opposite. Ain't love a great feeling when it's not toxic? Yo, I know I'm filling up voids. I'm falling down the railing around your heart like an emery board. They say real love won't return to me, boy. That's why what we got, quite rather enjoy. There go my homeboys. They have a love that they need to escape. A silent prayer because past tense, the only way you relate. You know I'm solid like a metal dough. But I gotta say something before you go. And
it don't really matter what they doing over there, as long as you focus on what we got over here. It don't really matter what they doing over there, as long as you focus on what we got over here. You gotta focus, cause I'm the best you're gonna get. They can have their problems, just don't come home with them.
And I'm back. We're talking navigating winter blues. That was It Don't Really Matter by Beauty the Bum on all digital streaming platforms. So we're talking solutions to winter blues, fall winter blues, right? And the 4 was grief, holiday, vitamin deficiency, and end of the year. Just that synopsis and thinking, right? But before we get to that, I have another word from another sponsor. Are you in the Springfield, Illinois area? Are you looking for a hairstylist, barber, or loctician? Lex is at your service. Lex Lock and Cuts is located 1305 Wabash Avenue. Appointment only. So please call and text Lex at 224-706-0727. Located 1305 Wabash Avenue. Available Thursday to Monday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Again in Springfield, Illinois. If you're looking for a hairstylist, loctician, or a barber, text or call 224-706-0727. Lex Lock and Cuts. So a solution to having the winter blues and it possibly being a vitamin deficiency, right? How will you know that? You need to go to your physician and get some tests done. You need to get some blood tests done where they'll be able to measure the minerals and the vitamins in your blood. And when they do that, you'll be able to know what you're deficient in. You'll be able to be proficient. You'll be able to get what you need and see a fantastic improvement along with, your regular diet and exercise that is recommended. And I'm sure it'll be recommended by your doctor and nutritionist. I know that a lot of us really are ignorant to, how important a healthy body and a healthy lifestyle is and to what improvements it could really bring, gut health, vitamins, eating your recommended amount of fruits and vegetables. The quicker we take these things seriously, the quicker we will see even the slightest of improvements. You'll see anything from increased energy to a better night's sleep, less tossing and turning. Something recent, I incorporated calcium, a vitamin D3, and a magnesium liquid vitamin blend, right? I also added chlorophyll drops, oil of oregano, liquid iron, and a lot of natural teas to my regimen. And when I get a little lazy and I get off of that regimen, even for a few days, I can tell, my body tells me, my body alarms me there's a difference. Why am I not sleeping well? Why is this and that? Why am I a little tired when I when I should have be rested when I wake up and different things like that. And it's because I got on a regimen. I got in a routine of taking these vitamins and getting my levels to wherever they needed to be. And so when I deviate from that, I feel the difference. So, I encourage you to possibly take that avenue and take that blood test and see what you're deficient in and seeing if that could be a cause of maybe your winter fall blues. Another thing, magnesium is magnesium spray. I didn't know that. There's a topical magnesium spray, and I could just spray it on for muscles and aches or what have you. And that's been a total game changer as well. On top of having a handheld massager to be able to get those nooks and crannies out without needing someone to help you or assist you, or paying 30, 40, 50, 60 bucks to get a full body massage, which I feel you also should do maybe once or twice a month as also self-care. We'll talk about that another time for sure. But the magnesium spray and then taking liquid magnesium, I've noticed the difference. I noticed a big shift, and it's something that, once I stop, I notice a decline. And so that's all of the proof that I need. So another reason, and the last reason, was just for the blues could be just the end of the year, just that synopsis of the year as a whole. Well, I'm a person who recognizes patterns, right? So if you are also a person who recognizes patterns, you may already, have adopted the solution that I'm probably going to say, what I'm going to suggest. You've probably already do that, have already done that. This is probably something that you probably just didn't even need aid and assistance, what have you, right? But you need to plan, people. Plan like you know what the patterns are. If you don't see patterns, I charge you to open your eyes and start looking for patterns. If you don't naturally see them, look for patterns. What do I mean? Every year, the same things happen. There's not a handful, there's several fistful of reoccurrences that the name change, but the game is still the same. We're in December. January, there are going to be certain memes and conversations. There's already people who perform taxes already recruiting because their season is coming. And to be well prepared is to prepare before and not during. So they're already taking their arm cross pictures and updating their photos and getting their clients together and collaborating with other financial professionals in other sectors, and they're doing the dang thing, and they're getting their things together, and they're getting their ducks in a row. Plan, people. They're planned. They are planning. They're executing their plan. Plan, people. Look at these patterns. They know that income taxes come. People are going to file. People are going to need people and want to know who. And they're already on it. Oh my goodness. My girlfriend tells me that there's already department stores that have Valentine's Day things up. And I haven't seen any. And I haven't gone to a lot of stores as of late also, but the ones I went in, I didn't see it. And so I don't remember which store she said, but yes, that's the pattern. That's something that I couldn't tell her that no, they don't got it up. That's crazy. No, that they would, because they are planning. They know what's going to happen, and they know some people start getting these things early. Some people celebrate early, and then when around the corner, they're going to have, from this little section of Valentine's Day stuff, is going to be a bigger section. And that small section of $5, $10 things or $12 things that were just there now will be $20. And then there will be more variety of things available. Patterns. Pay attention to patterns, people. Plan for the patterns, okay? I'm not talking like fake New Year's resolutions. I mean, make a commitment to yourself to make different decisions and obtain a different outcome. Cousin, you got to recognize how you feel when certain holidays come around, okay? When certain conversations come around. So plan a trip, plan a solo trip for Valentine's Day. You tired of seeing this and hearing the songs and being in this space or what have you. If you had that, create that freedom for yourself. No matter what you had to do you have some PTO saved up and it just so happened to be Valentine's Day? You don't have to tell anyone that you're escaping Valentine's Day or what have you, or you're escaping, whatever it is, or whatever pattern you're deviating from, whatever it is. You want to get that go bold haircut on your birthday and you can't ever figure out when you want to unleash this awesome new you that you've been grooming and figuring out and you want to bust out and be. Do it. Do it. Do it. Don't think too hard. Just go ahead and do it, friend. Do it, cousin. We need you to do it, okay? Do something different. Get a different outcome. Notice the patterns. And if you execute that now, this time next year, I feel like you'll feel so much better. You feel much better if you do the work. You gotta do the work. You gotta do the work. It's not gonna be easy, and you're gonna want to say you're gonna want to go back into the opposite of the decision. You're gonna want to erase it, and you want to go backwards and have your time machine and go backwards. Do whatever with decision you have, whatever choice you're gonna make. Of course, always do it with discernment. Always do it with good intentions, purity of heart. But you have to do something different. You have to jump out there and live. You just got to get out there and live, cousin. That new career you've researched all year and you figured out this and you did the hypotheticals. And if I did this and that, the kids could do this and then I could be here and then I can take my hours down from full-time to part-time. You've been talking it. Go ahead and walk it, okay? Notice those patterns. Notice how you feel. Notice what's going on and how you respond to what's going on. And take charge. Take control of that. Cousin, I think you can do it. I know you can do it, okay? Awesome, you guys. Well, I want to share something as we're coming to the end of the podcast. I'm thinking of adding a day of the week maybe where I go live stream and I record the podcast while I'm live, which gives the option of being able to interact and kind of call in and have this kind of live talking cousin to cousin feature going on, more like a radio show, and have that more of that feel. I think that'd be so awesome. Something I want to incorporate really soon. Look at me, episode 2, and I'm already planning for this growth and development, I work 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. This is 12/6 at 4 a.m. And I am recording this, and then I'm going to edit this, and then it is going to be available at 7 a.m. in 2 hours and 50 minutes. Because I'm dedicated, you guys, dedicated. Now, we just talked about planning. Now, I need to plan more episodes out further and get them recorded. I really do. I really do. But we're just starting out and we're having fun and we're not winging it. I'm very efficient. I've written these episodes out, even the one I just had, we're doing now, and I just got to get more, even more, get a nice, get ahead of myself, get so many together and just keep going to get that build up, spread it out, and be able to grow and grow with you guys. We're going to find more family, find more cousins, get the podcast out there, get more independent artists on here. And just now, this is the second episode, and it is so much longer than the first episode. I feel like more music was played, and I feel like I'm getting the hang of this thing a little more. I'm going to work all the kinks and the bugs out, and I definitely want your feedback on how you feel when you hear my podcast. Please be honest, but don't be cruel. There's no need for it. I can understand what you're feeling. I can pick up what you're putting down. Just don't give it to me hard. You ain't gonna give it to me like that. There's no need. I also write short stories. I write short stories. I have a lot of short stories I have in a vault somewhere. And I want to know if you guys wouldn't mind if I read those to you guys. Would that be something I could add and incorporate? Do sections and pieces of books or what have you and read to you guys. Would you guys like to read together? Cousins, let me know. We can add that too. Just let me know. This is for you. We're doing this together. Okay, we're doing this together. Episode 3. This is episode 2. Episode 3 premieres December 9th, 7 a.m. Central Time, okay? We're talking patterns, right? So you see what I did there? You see how we're getting there? Yeah. So we kind of just touched on that with my solution of the winter blues for the end of the year. But episode 3, we're going to dig even deeper into patterns. So talk to me, cousin. Do you notice patterns? Do you understand what I was saying briefly about patterns? The same things that kind of happen even in people is that if you work a job and there's certain maybe customers you take care of, and there's someone who comes in and it seems they do and say the same thing every time they go in there with such conviction, where you're like, are you a robot or am I a robot? Because you do this every week and it's insane. You say this thing every time, you ask this same question every time it's maddening. It's madness. And again, if you work in customer service, I work with the public in general in any form, I'm sure you have someone that just reminded you of someone. Yes. I'm glad you guys are here with me, cousin. I'm glad we're doing this thing. I'm so happy to be here with you guys. Just let me know again. Send me your good news. What you going through? I'd had some good news sent to me. Send me some more. This is on Spotify. It's also on YouTube. Go on my YouTube page. Hi, I'm Don Radio. Type that in. Find my page. Subscribe. And this same podcast that you may be listening to on Spotify right now is also on YouTube. You'll be able to look at be able to comment, look at my community, interact with me a little more. That's what my page is. That's what my radio page is. I also want to know, what do you think in suggestions? What do you think? I'm asking you, what do you think about? I'm asking you what do you think about things I already want to implement? Have I not mentioned something that you think I should be doing, that should be adding? There's nothing beats a failure but a try, cousin. You just give me a suggestion, and the worst I could say is I don't want to do it, But I am open to suggestions. What do you think? What are you thinking? Man, this stuff is fun. I don't even think you understand, cousin. Being here with you, talking to you has been fun. So again, before I leave, I need you to do me a couple things. I want you to tell me a joke. That is going to be your task until I see you next time. Tell me a funny joke. And when I come back, I'll have a funny joke for you too, okay? If you find me on social media and you go on my YouTube, you'll see my joke before we get to episode 3. But you got until episode 3 to have your joke, okay? And you can have their joke and comment under my joke if you got one already. But you got all the way until episode 3 to find me a funny joke. And the funny joke I'm going to share right here on the podcast, okay? Now, my jokes, things that make me laugh, are multi-layered things. And when I say multi-layered things, like it could be something so simple and corny and it makes me laugh. But it can also be something like, I had to think, and it makes me laugh as well. So, you know, you have a bigger... you have a bigger space to impress me, okay? I'm probably going to laugh because I'm silly. But just give me a good joke, you guys. And I'm going to talk to you guys next time, cousin. Thanks so much for being here. I'm going to leave you with a song, of course, and we're going to sing it out until we leave. Remember, I'm on YouTube.
Just stay moving, ain't saying nothing. Just stay moving, ain't saying nothing. Just stay moving, ain't saying nothing. I never have time for such trivial things. I got resting bitch face. Only if you know what I mean. My energy always say beware. I stay alert, it's tiring. Every day it's the same thing. You know I'm listening. You've got a point to prove, and I hear you. I listen attentively. Get you saying